phone go off every hour
Mm-hmm.
for me to go drink my water.
Water.
Yep. And we are live.
Live. Yes. We're gonna invest in an Apple Watch so you can
Oh,
walk
are you?
around with. Oh, you have a Fitbit, so
Yeah.
that's,
Okay, let's go ahead and get started.
hey everyone.
Hello, my investor family and investor friends. Welcome to our Wednesday Wednesday
E-
evening investor chat. And I want to say that I so appreciate everyone that comes to the chat and gives us ideas as to what you'd like us to talk about. And so we will continue to do this every other week. And certainly, if you have any suggestions about what you'd like to hear, we will add that in because we always come in with an agenda. And today's agenda is a continuation of the last investor chat, and we're talking about developing a written plan for developing your portfolio for your investing. So why don't we go ahead and get started with the next couple of steps.
Yeah, just a reminder. I'm wondering if anyone does remember the last two steps, but I'll throw them out there real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Marsha mentions that we want to write our why down. Why are you investing?
Mm-hmm.
What's your why? And actually funding your account, deciding on what that number is for you personally and funding your account.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the third thing,
Step three.
Step three,
we're going to talk about where are we going to find these companies to invest in. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to what we talked about last week, in that what we found out, the type of investors that we serve are more conservative or moderate investors. Mm-hmm. And so these type of investors want a little bit of income and growth. And so that's why we're focusing on dividend growth companies. So the question now comes, well, where do we find these companies? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. How do you go about finding these dividend growth companies? Because there's a difference between just a dividend company and a dividend growth company. So let's get started and talk about that. The dividend growth companies can be classified in two different ways. And we here at Bookworm like to classify them with the 3 C's. 3 C's being a dividend champion, mm-hmm. a dividend contender, and a dividend challenger. Now, the difference between these 3 C's is that the dividend champion, these are companies that have increased their dividends every single year for 25 or more years. So when you think about it, if you decide, look, I want to concentrate on companies that have been increasing their dividends for the longest time, then you would want to say, I only want to look at dividend champions. And so you would go online and you will Google dividend champions. There's your list. You can start there. If on the other hand, you said, I don't mind going down and looking at companies that have increased their dividends for at least 10 to 24 years, because I know they still have room to grow. So you would say, I want to look at dividend contenders. Mm-hmm. So you would Google that, and then you'll have a list of companies. And you can take a step down further and say, you know what? I want to be a little bit more aggressive. I want to look at maybe companies that have just started to increase their dividends consistently for 5 to 9 years. So you take a step down and you would Google dividend challengers.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where you would start. That's how you can start finding these companies that you could invest in. Now, that's just one classification.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the other one I recently learned from you.
Yes, there is another classification. Now, it's a little bit similar, but these are old school. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are talking about, I wanted to find a company, an older company, most people know about dividend kings.
Mm-hmm.
These are companies that have increased their dividends consistently every single year for at least 50 years.
Ooh.
Yes, so these are pretty stable companies that have been around a long time. Your companies like your Lowe's, like J&J.
Okay.
Now, even though we're mentioning these companies, it's not a recommendation to go out and buy it. You have to do some research. And analyze your company before you buy. But if you hear the word dividend king,
Mm-hmm.
that's a company that has increased their dividend consistently for 50 or more years. And then the next level down is a dividend aristocrat. Now, these are companies that have increased their dividends for at least 10. Wait, let me get this.
About 25 years?
25 years or more.
25 years or more, yeah. Because
But
in king aristocrat, that's
right,
it's recent in my mind.
But in addition to that, they have to be in the S&P 500.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's a dividend aristocrat. And then you have the dividend achievers who have increased their dividends for 10 plus years. Yeah. So those are the two classifications. And if you decide how you want to look at these companies and how you find this out, you can Google these different classifications and that you'll get the company, and you can go from there and start to jot down companies that you're interested in. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's step 3, how to find the companies. Mm-hmm. And that's going to lead us into the next part of the talk. And the last time we talked, we had someone ask us about infrastructure stocks because she was interested in that. So this is a perfect segue into looking at infrastructure stocks. And that came about by the fact that we know that President Biden, in his this bill about rebuilding roads and bridges, and there are going to be companies that are going to be contributing to that process of building these new roads and these new bridges, because we need it. I mean, if you travel around some of the highways, you know we need they need to be fixed. And so I looked at some of the companies and I came up with 3 companies. Once again, it's not a recommendation to buy, but something that you can start looking at. So for the first company, it's called, this is a particular company that makes the asphalt and the cement for the roads. And this company is called Vulcan Materials. Mm-hmm. They have been around for about 64 years. So they are an older company. They do give dividends. And this is a company that makes asphalt and the sand and cement for our roads. So that's a company that you can look at and, see what you think.
They've been in business for 64 years.
For 64 years. So they're not new. They've been around for a long time. And when you think about the rebuilding or the fixing up of the bridges, another company or another company that you can look at is a company that makes steel, because we need steel. And that company is called Nucor.
Mhm.
And it's got the ticker symbol NUE. It's been around for a long time also. Was incorporated. It's been around for 63 years. They are the largest steel making company in North America.
You hear him?
They also give dividends too. So it is a dividend stock. The last company that pretty much everybody's familiar with is Caterpillar. And I put them in, yeah,
Yeah,
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar.
Yeah, Caterpillar's been around for a long time, since 1925. And their last price, oh, my computer just went down. I think it's $211 a share. So Caterpillar and Deere are companies that supply the heavy machinery, the equipment to move all these products around. The big yellow.
Steel, the big yellow construction machinery and vehicles and yeah.
So those are three companies that I personally looked at and wanted to share with you, that you can say, let me take a look at these companies. These are a couple of companies in the infrastructure category. Now, if you're a person that says, look, I am not interested in looking at individual companies, I got something for you. There is an ETF, which is an exchange traded fund. And that exchange traded fund is called the Global X, thank you, U.S. Infrastructure Development ETF. The ticker symbol is PAVE, P-A-V-E. Now, this particular ETF has about 100 infrastructure stocks within it.
Right.
So if you are a type of person that just wants to stick with funds, rather individual companies, then this is a company this is an ETF to look at. So there you go.
If you're only interested in ETFs. Wonder if there are any questions anyone's wondering about the differences.
So what we're going to do as we go through this process of showing you how to develop a written plan for your investing, or how you're going to develop your portfolio, we'll continue to go through steps. We've covered 3 steps already. Your why. We covered how to fund in your account. You have to figure that out. And we talked about finding quality companies and where to look for these companies and how they're classified. And then the next step, in 2 weeks, we'll go through another step of determining how, or showing you how to do your written plan. Yep.
Awesome. Someone says they just want to say thank you.
Sure. It has been my pleasure. It always is. What do you think about lithium?
Oh, yeah, you were going to finish saying what you were going to say. I feel like I popped it up quick.
Wait, hold on. Let me turn this
The
off.
infrastructure.
What do I think about lithium? I don't know too much about it. I would have to do some research on it, and I can bring that back at the next investor chat. Let me write that down.
That's what I'm putting it in the in the calendar now.
But I think lithium is a material that's used, if I'm not mistaken, in the batteries for the electric vehicles. I'm not sure, but I will have that information for you the next time around. Oh, you're quite welcome. Yes,
Yeah,
for the
so
infrastructure.
sure.
Now, I will tell you that I don't know if you all use or look on the internet. There is a magazine called Kiplinger,
Mhm.
and that's a magazine that I used to subscribe to, but they're really good at giving out information about the different types of sectors, and that the infrastructure stocks that I talked about. I was able to Google an article from Kiplinger, and that's where I got the information about the infrastructure stocks.
Okay, can see that.
Hmm. Okay. And once again, like I said, these are all dividend stocks. So for those of us who are more of a moderate to conservative investor, these are dividend stocks, and some of them are dividend growth stocks.
And Barbara asking a question about hearing about the is it Netlist?
Lawsuit against Google. No, I have not heard about that. I'm going to I'm going to look though. Netlist. In fact, I've never heard of Netlist.
Unless you're talking about Netflix. Now I know something is going on in that area.
Okay, I would have to look up that. I don't know anything about that lawsuit. You know,
Sure.
everybody's suing everybody, so it's like get in line.
Yeah. Right now, we just want to focus on building some successful portfolios.
Hmm. And not only that, so that our futures can be secure.
Mhm.
And in fact, I can tell you this: when I was writing down why am I doing this? I'm doing this. I'm developing this particular portfolio because in my retirement, I want my dividends to pay my bills,
Mhm.
my electric bill, my gas bill. And so that is why I'm focusing on this particular uh, this portfolio
Mhm.
and buying dividend stocks, because that passive income that I'm going to get from dividends will pay my bills.
Yep.
So that is my why.
It's definitely my why,
Hmm.
especially the passive income aspect of it. But
Hmm.
the dividend growth stock workshop you did, that
Oh,
is where you guys are going to get the biggest like amount of information and understanding. She takes you through how to focus on the right companies. And
mhm.
it is on dividend growth stocks, which is new to me.
Right. We did a workshop, a
Workshop.
2-day workshop on investing or starting to on how to invest in dividend growth companies. That is on our website now. It's one of the courses. We're building up our library.
Mhm.
That's going to be at the Bookworm Investment Club website. A series of courses that we're going to be developing. That course is actually available now, and we do have a special
Mhm.
for that course. It's we did tape it when there were about maybe 10, 15 people in the workshop.
Yeah.
When we talked about went through the process of investing in dividend growth stocks, and
Mhm.
some of the words you have to know, or when it comes to investing in dividend stocks. And
Mhm.
so yeah, go to the website. The courses are there, and certainly if you have any questions, um, I'm available by email. It's Marcia at Bookworm Investment Club.
There you go.
There you are. .com. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Definitely.
All right.
Cool.
I think that's all I have for you this week. So we'll be
Awesome.
back in another 2 weeks, and we'll continue with the topic of building your your plan for your portfolio. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's
well,
it.
hope you guys remember the three: the why, funding your account, and finding quality companies, quality stocks.
Yes,
So
yes.
we'll share in another 2 weeks.
2 weeks for
Yeah,
number 4.
number 4. So make sure you guys go through this video.
Yep.
Come back, watch it, write everything down if you missed it, and yeah.
Start writing down that plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Awesome,
All
guys.
right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.